There we go. There's that. It does a weird thing where sometimes it, like, loses track of what's going on. So you all say something. I'm going to pull up my channel and see if there's audio. Nope, I'm getting nothing from you all. Okay, that fixed it. I don't know why. I had to re-add the source. Nothing like a couple minutes of technical issues to get rolling. All right. Last time on A Crown of Cold Iron. Our brave heroes find themselves in the depths of ancient ruins beneath the Raven Palace of Queensborough. The party is assisting Cyrus's childhood friend Alex, who has turned out to just be a whole mess of mystery and surprises. Between Alex and Mort, it was revealed that Alex is a changeling, actually crafted from stolen essence of Cyrus's own life force and finished with Mort's mysterious raven-like powers. Alex has been assisting Mort in various capacities over the intervening years, and most recently has been tailing a group called the Kingsguard, a human-centric militia is probably the word for it, who were otherwise obnoxious but unimportant until they stumbled into this extra-dimensional armory hidden beneath the Raven Palace. With Mort incommunicado, for whatever reason, after the encounter with the massive feline fae after the rooftop meeting, Alex sought out the party's help, and you all have made your way into the ruins. You've been having strange deja vu-like sensations the whole time you've been working your way through. Auric especially has been sort of buffeted by this array of strange memories and sensations. But Lexi and Cyrus have also been haunted by a strange familiarity with this space that doesn't seem to have any reasonable source or cause. You all were investigating some of the rooms when Alex burst into the room, exclaiming something about the Kingsguard being attacked, and then Alex burst into the room, exclaiming something about the Kingsguard being attacked, and then Alex burst into the room. Anyway, 4 different versions of Alex crashed into the room, revealing themselves to be some kind of not just shape-shifting, but perhaps shape-stealing creatures who managed to successfully copy both Auric and Lexi before the presumably maybe real Alex made their own appearance. So we've left off in this very strange situation where Lexi and Auric are playing all the different versions of their characters without necessarily knowing which one is real. Cyrus, through clever use of detect magic, knows which ones are real, but has to figure out how to convey this information, and who knows what will happen then. I do. All right. So we ended the initiative order with one of the Oryx using the Ring of Obscuring and filling the room with a smoke cloud. I believe that was the bottom of the initiative, so we are back to the top with Lexi Red.
Okay. There I am. I was like, why is my screen totally black? Because I was not looking in the right location. All right, so it's Lexi Red's turn. Let me zoom out so I can actually see everything here. Oh, amazing. Go down to 60% and suddenly I can see the whole map. Thanks, computer. Oh gosh, so what had just happened?
Dropped a fog cloud and
Okay.
ran out of it screaming, "Stop hitting me, stop hitting me."
So I'm assuming I'm in that fog cloud.
Yes,
Okay.
both of you are.
Both
Yes,
of us are.
the black circle kind of.
Okay, the big black circle.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, because the smaller ones are tables, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now I understand. That's, let me see.
And just for functional purposes, the only person you're really aware of where they are is the other Lexi, because they're adjacent. Because this cloud is opaque.
That's kind of what I figured. Well, I think that that's definitely going to, having the cloud come in is definitely going to startle Lexi. Let me think. I don't know. I'm trying to pull back where I was, where Lexi was mentally from the last time we played. There's part of me that wants to roll, and there's part of me that's like, Lexi would just automatically swing and miss if this happened. There's no point in attempting a roll. I know she would miss. Let's see here. I'm gonna instead, I have flashlights somewhere. There we go. Scroll to the right place. I can get my inventory. I also have my light shard. I think I'm actually going to pull out my light shard to see what happens.
All right. So you retrieve it. In your bag, it only glows faintly, but once you pull it out, there's a consistent shimmer in your hand.
Is that it?
Okay. Make a... I don't know if there's anything to make. So, you pull out this shard. The shard's glowing brightly. And no one else can see this. It's only the two Lexis.
Mm-hmm.
Half hidden in the shadow here. The Lexi that pulls out the shard looks at it and then grips it tight. And you can see some blood running along the edges. And that Lexi smiles. And the smile creeps all the way up, up almost to her ears.
All right.
And that Lexi, clutching the light shard like a dagger, is going to move away from Blue Lexi. What is Blue Lexi going to do?
And Blue Lexi's going to pursue because that smile gave her a hint. In hearing that Red Lexi, in hearing that she doesn't know which one she is anymore, that's going to give Blue Lexi a hint that she is not who she thinks she is. So she's going to pursue.
Well, all you can do right this moment is take an attack of opportunity.
Okay, then I'm going to do that.
All right, roll it.
All right, get to the right page. That's a 22.
22 does hit against you. Roll damage. Both of you are raging.
Yes. So that is 12 points of damage. And I'm tracking Red Lexi, aren't I?
You are.
Okay.
So 6 points of damage.
So 6 points of damage.
Oh, you don't have... No. So Red Lexi pulls away and bursts out of this cloud of smoke. Green Auric, a Lexi is coming towards you.
What do you want to do?
Does Auric think this is the real Lexi or not?
Because Auric will not have known about that face.
Auric is going to be assuming until he finds any other information that he's not willing to risk it. Yeah. So, assuming it's the real Lexi, unless and until I see evidence to the contrary.
All right. So you're saying you're assuming it is the real Lexi?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, Green Auric has a moment of surprise as this Lexi comes out of this cloud of smoke, clutching this glowing shard. But as the Lexi comes out, the shard resolves into one of those wicked-looking daggers, and with this horrific smile stretched across her face, the Lexi tries to just stab into Auric.
Not again.
Whew. So this horrific smile, and as the face smiles, some of the detail fades. The eyes just become like big empty circles, and the mouth is just like a dark slit with like serrated teeth running through, but like no visible tongue or innards apparently. And seeing this almost featureless face growing out of Lexi's head is very disturbing, as are the two gaping knife wounds as the blade. That is... Oops, need to go back in my log. Come back. That is a 23 and a 21 to hit.
That's a pair of hits.
All right. First one deals 10 points of damage, and second one does 5.
Okay. And you are tracking Green
I am
Auric.
tracking that Auric. That Auric now has 7 hit points.
Yikes.
And at this point, you see the... It's not quite an illusion. Like, this creature seems to, like, melt into a similar figure to what you saw earlier. This sort of humanoid silhouette covered in all of these various faces that look like specific individuals. And all the faces are laughing and gibbering as the blade comes down. It doesn't try to copy you. It is now just trying to kill you.
Well, that's not fun.
All right. It is Alex's turn. Alex just saw this horrible creature temporarily with Lexi's face run out of the mist and stab Auric real good. So, make sure that's on. So, seeing that, is Alex going to do? Alex is going to use Eldritch Blast. Alex crits on Eldritch Blast.
Nice.
Let's see. So how should I do this?
It's older than dirt.
So Red Lexi is no longer Red Lexi, but this horrible creature. And Alex's first bolt, each bolt starts as this like smoldering cloud that's not even, it's not large enough to like actually have like a bird, but there's like the impression of like flapping wings, and flings this out. And when it impacts, there's this burst of feathers and like huge dark claw marks appear across this creature. And because he's level 6, because they are level 6, they make 2. Second one is also going to hit. Red Lexi is, well, no longer Red Lexi. The creature is now very messed up.
And it's probably not raging anymore either.
Yeah.
I didn't have the damage.
Yay!
Okay, am I still tracking that damage then?
You are not.
Okay, just making sure.
And actually what I'll do, if you refresh, you now have the correct number of hit points, and you are Blue Lexi.
I'm now Blue Lexi. Okay. Hi, kitty. Okay, bye.
All right, it is Cyrus's turn. Cyrus, you can't see anything.
Could I hear any of the run out of the cloud fight?
Make
Stuff?
a perception check.
Okay. $18.
With an 18, you saw a flash of light and you heard 2 magical, not quite explosions, but like impacts. And the flash of light was like dead ahead, and the impacts were like far off to your right.
Okay. But I didn't like hear Auric or anything.
I don't know that. Has Auric said anything?
Well, Green Auric was trying to convince everyone to stop fighting as he was leaving the fog.
But Green Auric hasn't said anything since seeing.
No.
Okay.
Help! Help!
I guess it depends on if I would have grunted in pain or screamed in fear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I think Cyrus is going to go with original plan from last week. So I don't know. Can I assume Cyrus like basically knows the distances in the room, even if he can't see?
Make an intelligence check, and it's going to be pretty low because this explicitly feels like something Cyrus would have trained to do.
Well, that's a 7.
I was thinking of 5, so
Okay.
You're okay.
So
I just have a vision in my mind of like at some point Cyrus got like blindfolded and had to say like, where are the tables, where are the people, how many hats?
So what Cyrus would like to do is dash north, grab the dead body, pull it out of the room. And I guess probably turn, trying to figure out if you would turn left or right. And then if I can, with like an like investigate the dagger that they're carrying.
So here you're going to have an interesting moment. So based on where Cyrus is in the room currently,
Mhm.
and the cloud of smoke,
Mhm.
detect magic requires that you see the subject to be able to detect magic.
Right.
There is an auric in your path.
Right.
If that auric is friendly, you can pass through that auric's path without an issue. Assuming that it's friendly. However, if that auric is not friendly and you try and move through their space as if they are, not only will it make an opportunity attack, but it might have a particular element of surprise. So, do you trust that the auric, and actually, I guess you'd be right here realizing this. You have a split second. Do you trust that the auric in front of you is auric?
I don't trust anybody in this room. Absolutely not. I'm
All
going.
right.
I'll accept the attack of opportunity because I can't disengage. I've got to dash, I think, to get there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because 6. Wrong one. Because my 30 feet would just get me there. So I'm gonna. So that's 30, and then I don't know if I have to like what I have to spend around the body, but I'll accept the opportunity attack, and I think try to end up basically at the like doorway to the first room.
All right. Make an acrobatics check.
Okay. 27, not
Cool.
20.
That's good. I had set a fairly high DC because you are vaulting a table that you can't see as you dodge an attack. So, as you, and this is a really cool moment, and it's sort of unfortunate that no one gets to see this. So Cyrus is like, okay, the body dashes and then like vaults and rolls across the table and comes up like grabbing the body. As this is happening, the auric who's standing there, one of their limbs like elongates in this really gross way, and suddenly like the fingers that were there like warp and twist and become one of these blades. And it's suddenly like this long spindly hand clutching this blade, and it tries to stab at you as you run past. That is a 16 to hit.
Yep.
No.
All right. It slashes down the back of the mantle, but does not manage to penetrate. And you grab the body and pull it out into the hall. So that was, yeah. I think a more thorough investigation will have to wait for next turn because that was a lot of movement and acrobatics. And is there a simple thing that you're looking for that you might notice quickly?
I guess either any obvious like writing or inscriptions.
Go ahead and make an investigation check with disadvantage. This is just a hasty check to round out this turn.
Well, with disadvantage, my lowest roll was a 17, so a 26.
Nice. All right. You have several takeaways very quickly. The investigation is still a little bit difficult because this thing's hand is like, you would almost say that it is fused to this dagger. It's hard to tell if it's just a supernaturally like tight grip or if it is literally like one thing. You also notice that there are like veins in a different color, like running up through the hand and into the arm, that look like almost like a foreign substance of some kind. The blade is of Fey make. Again, Cyrus would definitely know his knives. This is definitely a Fey blade. This is not a blade of human make. Also, you're gonna have to make a separate Arcana check, but there's a weird familiarity to this blade. Not the same kind of weird familiarity of this place, which has been weird. Something different. It reminds you of something you've actually experienced, a real memory you have. But that's what you got for now.
Okay.
All right. Now the initiative goes bonkers. So I believe it is Blue Lexi at this point.
All right.
The only remaining Lexi.
The true Lexi, apparently. Maybe. Who knows? True Lexi maybe in the other world or something, for all we know.
Spirited Away.
True Lexi is in Fey realm or something. Sleep. No, she's taking a nap in her bed at Lou's. She has no clue any of this is happening anymore.
It would be wild to have this kind of fight happen and then reveal like a year later that the characters who left were not the originals. But I'm not going to do that to you all.
That's the things I was wondering. I was like, all right, am I going to be like not original anymore? Because I've already technically switched physical locations because Red Lexi is where I started before I got doubled. Okay, so Blue Lexi, the first thing Blue Lexi is going to do is she's going to pull out that same shard because her gut instinct is going to be, did this bitch steal my stuff?
It's there. Whatever this was, this creature seemed to be able to duplicate pretty much everything about you all.
Okay. And then she's going to charge in the direction that Red Lexi went. She would not realize that Red Lexi is no longer Red Lexi.
No, not yet.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So make I'm going to call this survival because you're following a creature. But it's a fairly low check because you just saw her, but it's kind of hard to see.
Okay. Oh, perfect. I got an 18.
All right.
It's stat on that too before it's happened over to 18 though.
So you're easily able to see this fog cloud is like a physical substance. And so you can actually see like a specific sort of crease to the smoke where the other Lexi pulled through.
Okay.
So you can go charge it after her.
Okay. Let's see. And how far can I move?
40.
40. So how many squares is that?
8.
8. Thank you.
Each square is 5 feet.
5. Well, I only need to move 5 to, well, I'll move 6 to get to her and attack. But of course, then I'm seeing that it's no longer Lexi. But still, gut instinct is going to be a nat 20 with the brewer's mallet on this sucker. All right. Oh, that's the wrong button. Haha. I need to hit the damage button. Shoot, did I then do that wrong because it was blue?
Yep.
Oh,
You
shit.
canceled out the crit.
I canceled out my crit on accident.
You can just roll it separate and add it up.
Roll it again.
Okay, so
13 plus.
plus then roll it again.
Yep.
Okay. 13 plus 14, so 27.
Good lord.
Well, the second one wouldn't include your bonus again.
Yeah, so 21.
21.
Oh, so 20.
Also, because it's a crit with your mallet, you're going to roll another 2d8.
Okay.
Aw.
3.
Something else happens when you do this.
Okay.
How is Lexi? So you dash through the smoke. You're chasing Doppel Lexi, and instead it's this like gaunt figure with this sort of vague mask face. It has all these screaming faces on it. Most of your details have faded off of it, and you actually notice now, like up on like the chest of this creature is your face. And it's horrifying because the face is just screaming.
Okay.
So you see this. This dagger is just dripping with. What color is Oryx blood?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I think it's actually red, so.
Well, and also continuity error. Right as Alex came into the room, you said that you became human.
I did.
So technically, all of these Oryx have been the other Oryx.
Then human instead of dragon ore.
So yes, this would definitely be red blood. So you see this creature looming over Auric. You see your own screaming face. You have the mallet in your hand. What do you do?
Hit again.
So describe this. How are you swinging? Is this like a side? Is this the...
I would say it's like baseball bat, yeah.
So something different happens this time. You've seen the magic of the mallet burst several times and spray the sort of caustic brew all over these creatures. You feel... You're a barbarian. You rage. Rage is rooted on some level in anger, but you feel a pulse of... It's a dark anger. And you feel it from the mallet. You feel it from the light burning off of you. And you actually feel it in the stones under your feet. And actually, everyone in the room sees this for a second as Lexi plants that first foot forward and prepares to swing. That foot coming down, there is a... and there is a pulse of this burning white light, and the smoke clears for a second. And Lexi is wreathed in more fire than you've ever seen. But the fire doesn't look as... You all have gathered by now, the fire has some... This radiant light has some connection with Luz. There is this element of almost hospitality that runs through all of it. This looks, it's the same thing, but the tone is different. There is a violent edge to it that you have not seen before. And when Lexi swings, the bubbling amber of it almost like burns up as this hotter white fire erupts. And as the mallet passes through this creature, this burning white light consumes the entire body until the blackened dagger just tink, 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 hits the floor. So technically you have another attack.
It attacked me. I must be real.
Well, I mean, you are bleeding, so while I'm a little unsure, I also do know that clearly there are multiple of you, but you're still bleeding, so I wouldn't want to kill the wrong one.
All right. Anything else?
Actually, I want to take my shard and tap Auric with it to kind of like do a poke thing to see if he's real or not.
Make an Arcana check.
All right.
Do I need to as well, or am I just getting poked?
You're just getting poked.
That was an 8. That's not as fun.
You don't know what this means. So, in the moment, you've seen this just once or twice. Sometimes the light shard, most of the time it's a shard of like crystal and glass. Just once or twice, you've seen it as this sort of glimmering white feather. When you touch this to Auric, the light in the crystal immediately shoots through with this smoky black. And for just a second in your hand, it's not a crystalline shard. It's not a white feather. It is a feather so black that it almost has like a touch of unreal colors to it. But nothing else happens.
Well, it didn't turn you back into a monster, so that's a good sign.
Not a monster, I'm a dragon.
Well, you could have been one of those things. Points to the dagger on the ground.
All right. What to do? It is Blue Auric's turn. Blue Auric steps out the door and throws 2 daggers at Cyrus. This Auric's limbs like elongate in this disturbing way. And again, like the tips of the fingers become the blade right before they throw. It's a 13 to hit, which will not. And another 13 to hit, which will not.
Okay.
The image of Auric on this creature is fading. And again, you see although you wouldn't have seen this, the hollow eyes, the big wide open mouth, and all of these screaming faces. And yes, now there is a gold and silver dragonborn face screaming. Although, make a perception check.
Auric makes the perception check.
Or
Oh no, sorry. Cyrus makes one.
Cyrus makes a perception check. Never mind.
11.
There is something odd about the Auric face, but it's hard to see as you're like, matrixing out of the way of these daggers. It is Red Oric's turn. Red Oric is going to make a perception check. Red Oric gets a 17. Red Oric comes screaming and charging out of the smoke. And again, like the body is losing the shape. It's becoming this spindly, almost featureless form, except for the plain mask and then the screaming faces. And Oric, you have this horrifying vision of your own face on this thing's stomach, screaming just horribly. And make a perception check.
Okay. 4.
OMG, it's your face and it's screaming and it's really scary.
Yep.
And the
right.
blades come down. Whew, a 22 and a 13.
All right.
The 22 hits, the 13 does not.
Yep. Okay, bye. Bye, kitten.
Whew, 6 points of damage.
I am at 1 health.
Jimmy, your turn.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All right, this is getting real tense. And it is Green Oric's turn.
Okay, the real Oric. Well, I gotta decide what I want to do, because I was gonna kind of cheese the Spirit Guardians to heal myself, but now it might be beneficial to have the Spirit Guardians hurting this other Oric.
Well, and I think the way it's written, as long as you end it before it's over, normally, yeah, as long as the spell hasn't ended, you can do that later.
Yeah, but I'm at 1 hit point.
That's true.
What I can do is burn 2 sorcery points to cast it as a bonus action. And since I can, well, first I shout out, Cyrus! Cyrus!
Cyrus, make a perception check. You know what, though? I'll say make it with advantage. Thank goodness.
Yeah. 21.
Oric's voice cuts through in a way that the physical dimensions of the space would not suggest. But you can hear this cry for help as clear as day, even outside of this room, past the cloud, past all these sounds of combat. It just cuts. You hear it clearly. But it is not yet your turn. So, so Spirit Guardians blasts out this thick sort of
from Cyrus. It blasts out.
this thick moorland mist sort of rolls out and mingles with the fog cloud, and again that tall, ominous presence is stalking through. What else do you want to do?
Let's see, so that was a bonus action. So with my action, can I draw and drink a healing potion?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, if you want to save your sorcery points, you can just do that as a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I will drink my healing potion as a bonus action. and get 10 hit points back.
All right.
Given where you are currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're down here. I told you.
And yeah, I think I still want the Spirit Guardians to go into effect, but it'll be as a regular action. And since I can see Alex and Lexi, and I didn't hear Cyrus respond, so I don't think he's close enough to be in range, I will exempt Lexi and Alex and trust Cyrus to not be close enough to get hurt.
This mental effort you make to designate them as allies, a phantasmal, almost like the faintest dark specter of a bird, settles on each of their shoulders, and you can feel now this tall, ominous presence ignores them and fixates on this creature in front of you. All right.
All right, strange birds, creatures.
So all 3 orcs have gone now, right? Chased, attacked, yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm now going to put you back where you were in the order. Real Lexi, you're at the top.
All right. So real Lexi is going to go for Red Auric, who is no longer Red Auric.
All right.
Do what she does best.
So you can step over the dead one in front of you.
Yeah. All right. That was an 11.
11 does not hit.
All right. So she's going to take her second roll. Oh, that was a nat 1. So that's an 8.
Oh, that does not hit.
I know. Oh, well. She tried.
All right. It is Alex's turn. It looks like Lexi and Auric have this handled. Alex doesn't know what happened to Cyrus at this point. And there is a certain amount of alarm associated with that. Oh, man. Alex is going to make a perception check with actually, no. Alex is not going to make a perception check. Cyrus, you hear the flapping of wings, and the bird that you saw in Lou's is like hovering at the end of the hallway and sees you. And Alex darts out and comes to the end of that hallway and is going to Eldritch Blast at formerly Blue Auric. Hit. And hit. Cool. All right. That Auric is, or that creature, is very hurt as these blasts fly down the hallway. Whoops. I guess Alex would have gone here to get the better line of sight. All right. Cyrus, you are up. I have that mug, and I also eat things out of it with a spoon. It's my cereal mug.
All right. Do you want additional ones? it is not. It's not in melee with me, right? So if I steady aim for advantage and hit, I can sneak attack.
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna do that. It's 18 plus 8, 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll probably hit.
Okay. So 9 plus 14, 23.
All right. So what does this look like as you fire this arrow?
Nah, I probably wouldn't think. Would Cyrus think to? I don't think Cyrus would. I was trying to say Cyrus would like aim for one of the daggers, but I don't think he would consider that to likely be a kill shot. So
you steady your aim. You've brought together the two halves of ill omen, and your short swords have become this smoking black longbow or short bow. You pull back and you fire, and right as you're about to let go, you feel an echo of this same thing that you don't know that Lexi just went through. There's like this pumping adrenaline feeling. You feel a sense of like tunnel vision, and your heartbeat is loud in your ears, and you feel this almost, it would be an alien feeling, except that you feel it coming up from somewhere inside you. You want to destroy this thing. And you've maybe felt this before, but it's almost like it's amplified. It's like you can hear birds calling, echoing down the hallway. And so this shadowy arrow fired from this shadowy bow hits between some of the faces, and the creature and then coughs up black feathers, and more of the mouths kind of and then and phantasmal ravens start forcing their way out of the mouths, and the creature like is locked as these birds emerge. And as each bird comes out, the creature seems to get thinner and thinner. And then finally the creature just collapses in on itself. And all that's left is like a ragged arm holding this dagger that hits the floor.
Cool. So I can't move after I do that. So
Yep. Well, you can, but you can't do anything. So
yeah. No, it says my movement
steady
steady
aim. Yeah.
Steady aim. Yeah. So I guess I'll give Alex a wave down the hall.
Alex awkwardly like, that was messed up, but also like in a cool way.
Yeah. How we do it in the big room?
I think they got it. The blonde kid's pretty hurt.
Figures.
All right. And we cut to the blonde kid. So, Auric, you're in this corner. You don't actually even... You briefly saw Lexi when this pulse shot. And you've been cornered by what was a copy of you. This horrible creature with your own screaming face on it. But the screaming face is like warping. And sometimes it's this screaming dragonborn maw. And then sometimes it's this human version of Auric. And as you notice this, you also notice that the fog cloud in the room has almost been like suffused with the mist pouring off your spirit guardians. This whole room now is filled with this thick, dark mist, and there's almost like a smell to it. Like, it gives you the impression of being on this, like a dew-soaked, grassy, open field. And at first, there's sort of pleasant, natural smells to it. And Lexi, you would be noticing this as well. But there is a rising smell of blood and offal and carrion and the sounds of almost like they're swelling up in the background. The sounds of birds and the sounds of combat, of people locked in violent confrontation with one another and dying horribly. And this creature that's looming over you that in some ways seems very large is suddenly dwarfed by this shadow of a figure looming over it. And the figure leans down. Leave him alone. And this hand reaches down and just wrenches the dagger free. And as the dagger comes free, this black fire sweeps up the body, pouring out of all of the eyes and mouths, and it just falls to cinders. And we're out of initiative order.
Taking care of you.
Okay. That was a thing. I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss the Spirit Guardians now.
All right.
Heal 8 points of damage.
I mean, I dramatized that a little bit. That was your Spirit Guardians killing it at the top of the turn.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Thanks. Go sleep now.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Everyone is now running their own character.
Well, I was going to warn you that since he was the one to cast the fog cloud, he could see through it. But then he came out of it, so that didn't matter anymore. So that was a thing.
All right. So what do you all want to do?
I think we probably want to see where Alex and Cyrus went off to.
Cyrus?
I'm out here. I'm gonna invest. I wanna check out this dagger some more now.
All right. So go ahead and make an investigation check again.
Okay. $23.
All right. Your investigation is immediately aided as Alex comes closer. And as Alex gets to about 5 feet away from the dagger, you see all of the runes carved into this dagger light up. and it's all of this Sylvan and Fey script. And there's definitely this like liquid quality to the dagger. And as Alex gets close, it like it rattles and shakes. And Alex says, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa," and backs up a little bit. And as Alex backs up, the dagger fades and goes still.
I get out my shard to poke at it.
Actually, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
$19.
All right. So you're kind of joking at this point, but also like actually when you do this, there is a. It's not the sound of like screeching metal, but it's almost like the sudden sourceless sensation of screeching metal. As the light shard touches the dagger, it's like the air is just vibrating with this powerful, like, grinding shriek. It's one of those things you feel in your bones, but you can't hear it. And the dagger goes inert. It's no longer lit up. It's no longer moving. It's just clunk.
So it basically is just a dagger now instead
You
of a
broke
magical dagger.
With what you rolled, magic items are way harder to destroy than that. But you think that the light shard might have temporarily incapacitated this dagger in some way.
Okay.
Am I still getting schools of magic off of it from Detect Magic?
Before the light shard touches it, you would be getting impressions of enchantment, illusion, and transmutation. And when the light shard touches it, it's almost like imagine those were sort of waves of color extending out from the dagger. When the light shard touches it, it's almost like someone compressed all of those colors down and like shoved them back down into the frame of the dagger, very small. Also, you notice that this trail of magic extends past the blade, and you actually see three strands dragged out from the dagger and trailing off into the room you just left.
AKA where the rest of the daggers were. And people, I'm assuming.
Potentially.
All right. Well, Cyrus is going to stand up and say there's a magical trail of breadcrumbs going back into that room and follow it.
It definitely leads to all of the daggers. What do you do with them?
Destroy them with fire. Not that Cyrus has any, but that's what Cyrus's first instinct is.
Okay, my shard.
I have fire. I have lots of fire.
Kill it with fire.
Are you bringing the dagger with you back into the room?
I'll mage hand it if I can.
As soon as the dagger passes into the room, you hear a faint, like, tremble of the other daggers moving.
Take it back out.
I need to check something. As soon as you do, they stop.
Right. if I mage hand one of the daggers in the room and start moving it towards the one out in the hallway, does it start vibrating again?
Any of them that you bring close to any of the others starts to move.
Okay. So all of them can react to each other. There's not like a control
No.
or master dagger.
You notice that Alex has kind of a weird, like, Alex has been looking strangely at this dagger. Make a history check with advantage.
Uh, 11.
You've seen a dagger very similar to this before. You can't quite place where off the top of your head. But you think that you have in fact seen it. But it's hard to place. As you're inspecting it, there is. Go ahead and make a perception check. All of you can make this.
$14.
Oh,
Go ahead and make. So you're holding it with Mage Hand.
Mhm.
Make an. We'll call this. Yeah, we'll call this an Arcana check.
Almost a nat 20, but 17's not bad.
At first, you're easily able to hold on to the dagger. And you almost miss it. You're standing there. You're trying to sort of piece this together. And suddenly there is a hard yank on the dagger. The dagger is pulling fiercely towards the room. And about the same time you notice that, you hear the other three daggers being like dragged at speed across the floor. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. $18.
You manage to like go flat as these three daggers come flying into your space and they collide with the dagger you're holding with Mage Hand. And as they hit, they seem to dissolve one into the other. And as they do, the light on the blade of these runes gets brighter, and there are more and more lines of script. And the force of them colliding rips this out of your Mage Hand and like sticks it just a little bit into the stone wall behind you.
well, that's not creepy.
Sorry, so we go. All right. I'm back to fire. Kill it with fire.
Mega dagger now.
So it's all the same schools of magic, but it is noticeably more intense. You would actually say that second only to maybe like something like the iron rod or the tome. This might be the most powerful magical item that you have examined up close.
Well,
Yeah, well, messing with those didn't
end well.
yeah.
You still on fire? I got fire.
I think we've got
Still tempted to touch it with my shard now that it's a whole thing.
Do it.
All right. I'm gonna poke it while it's in the wall with my shard now that it's a whole thing. I'm gonna poke it at the runes.
nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna poke some of those runes.
With Detect Magic engaged, you're able to compare the effect with before, and it still causes it to be suppressed somewhat, but it's not able to suppress it as much as it did before.
Okay.
I guess Cyrus will ask Alex if they have any idea if this is the kind of thing we need to worry about the militia taking.
Alex doesn't hesitate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the kind of thing that's down here.
Okay.
Please don't let them get their hands on this.
Yeah, that could be
Please and
bad.
thank you. Alex, do you know if there's more of this down here, or is there also? Well, I'm sure there's also other things, but
Alex is going to make an Arcana check, and I'm going to go ahead and have Cyrus make it too, just to see.
$13.
You, between your close investigation and Alex's more sort of filled in background knowledge, you're able to put together that the reason there were 4 of this was not that there's a ton of these daggers, but you actually have the impression that there was always just one dagger, and that somehow the dagger had been fractured.
Oh.
And
fine.
the shards, even separated, were sort of moving that.
sorry.
You also gather, between the two of you from that same check, the shards of the dagger were the creature. The thing that the faces were pushing through, the thing that was carrying it around, was a vessel that the dagger had been moving.
All right.
Well, that's not creepy.
Nope.
So try to burn it and then drop it in a bag and don't touch it.
Plan to be.
Everybody stand back. currently embedded in a wall, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should be easy enough to hit that with a firebolt.
Yes.
How do I get a crit on an inanimate object?
I don't know. I mean, we did see it come to life, so maybe not as inanimate as we fear or feel.
It still only does 8 fire damage.
So from the outside, what you all can see is this bolt of flame smashes in and just wraps this thing in fire for a moment. And the blade glows red hot. And Cyrus, you're able to see this cloud of magic. It's not dispersed, it's like agitated. But it doesn't seem to have damaged this at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of thought that might happen.
So I'm just gonna, I guess, try to pull it out of the wall and then drop it in a bag.
Mage hand?
Yes.
All right.
Two dudes dig a really, really deep hole.
As your mage hand reaches out, you can actually see the cloud of magic around it sort of swirls into tendrils. And the tendrils try and sort of wrap up and around the mage hand. Make a charisma saving throw with advantage.
Oh. Uh, 14.
So you see these tendrils are trying to like pierce into this mage hand. But it's not your first time you've dealt with this. You sort of push harder, reinforcing the hand with your will, and you're able to pull it without it doing anything. But you see Alex looking at it strangely. Alex says, I'm going to try something stupid. And just grabs it. Which, that, you don't know why you didn't expect that. That feels Alex all up and down. Like, but you notice something different. When Alex grabs it, the tendrils that come off of it are not aggressive the same way. And instead, they almost seem to like swirl into this faint magical aura that is always around Alex.
Right.
And you see the blade glimmer, and Alex kind of turns it over. Huh. Cool. And they think about it for a minute. I don't think that it's cursed in the traditional sense.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
It just feels like there's so much power in it that it starts to tip over into having a bit of a mind of its own.
Well, that's not dangerous at all.
But it's not... If it caught you on a bad day, you might have a problem. But I think 9 times out of 10, one of you would be fine. And he points to the horrifying remains of the creature in front of you. And he says, I bet that used to be a tomb robber. I bet that was someone who wasn't ready for it.
Well, we don't need to test that theory right now.
Yeah.
No.
I look down at the body, look over to Alex, and look at the dagger and say, I'm not going to apologize for trying to melt you because you started it.
Alex sort of smirks and is like, all right. And just sort of tucks it into, I think they pull like just like a plain like tactical dagger, and just sort of crudely shove it into that sheath and then put it on their hip.
All right, then.
So what do you all want to do?
I mean, I guess continue forward.
So, wait, Alex, didn't this whole thing start because you were coming to warn us about something?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was coming to tell you that there seem to be monsters possessed by powerful magic items.
Funny that.
Feels a little redundant now.
So, like, more monsters or those monsters?
No, new monsters.
Okay.
Fun.
I think those things. Someone cut at me. I think one of those things had already replaced one of the Kingsguard.
Lovely.
In the middle of them fighting that giant blood sword creature.
Blood sword.
I'm sorry, blood sword?
That's true. Alex wouldn't know that you all would know that. However, you all would know that one of the fake Alexes mentioned a tall, almost undead-like creature that was dragging some kind of blood sword.
Right. Okay.
But you're right. Alex would not know that. So Alex describes the 9-foot tall, gaunt zombie-esque figure dragging a blood sword.
Okay. So that one, kill it with fire. Do zombies burn, right? Yeah, zombies burn. Everything burns.
Almost everything burns.
It
There's
doesn't burn, you
something.
need a better fire.
Does water burn?
If your fire is hot enough.
It's true. Some people can burn water, so.
Okay, so going to go. We want to find the 9-foot tall zombie with the really big blood sword. Do we want to avoid that?
I would vote for avoiding, but that's just me personally.
I mean, it's got the Kingsguard occupied, and we're not fans of them.
Kind of wanting to pretend to have them not see us.
Which way was the zombie with the blood sword?
Alex points down and to the right at the intersection ahead of you, which is the same direction that Cyrus was tracking their path earlier from the traps. Alex does chime in. So I'm not going to lie. It seems like there's a lot of cool stuff down here. But immediate goals, not letting the Kingsguard come out with something like this.
Point.
Sounds like a good point. Good place to start.
And we maybe don't want to trust the defenses of this place to take them out.
Mhm.
So I guess we.
Yeah, so I think Cyrus was torn between going the opposite way in case there's bigger bombs to go claim before the Kingsguard get them, or do we need to follow the Kingsguard to make sure they don't leave with whatever they've found?
I think I would be more inclined to call them B. Just because, especially because we don't know if the other direction would have something more powerful or not, or if going the wrong way means, we go and find a music box while they find the football.
Right.
Right.
How you like that for a mixed analogy?
Sure. Go for it.
All right, let's go find the Kingsguard then.
All right. I meant to make you a magic item to reflect this. For the three of you, the back of your hand itches.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Oh yeah, the Triforce.
So you see that Triskelion pattern that's been sort of not painfully, but clearly sort of seared onto the back of your hand. As you're looking at it, it seems to illuminate just a little bit. And all of you have handled magical items up to this point. There is a sense of a magic that could be activated
Part of me wants to play with this, but part of me is afraid of what might happen if we do.
Do we have a sense on how to activate it?
You feel like you just could.
All right, but
So it's not like a Planeteers thing where our powers combine.
No. It's something you feel like each of you could do. And make an Arcana check.
Yeah. Okay, 18.
19.
19.
All right.
All right.
This makes sense because it is physically a part of you. You feel like you could... You're not sure if it's the only thing that this does, but you have the sense that you could use this to accelerate your healing.
Oh, well, that's...
You don't even make it all the way to press it. As soon as you think to activate it, it goes this sort of gentle red, and then this sort of purple black, and you suddenly feel like you have caught your breath in a really substantial way. You can spend up to half of your hit dice to heal.
Nice.
You don't gain the other benefits of the short rest, but you gain any healing. Although I'm not even sure you have any features that go off short rest. I guess it'd be your breath weapon.
Yeah, breath weapon.
But you haven't used it, so you could just hit short rest.
I just trying to remember what my. Oops, wrong button. Just trying to remember. I'm a D6 hit die, right? Because I could just roll it.
Yeah, it always matches your. It matches your class hit die.
Okay, almost maximum on those 3d6.
You said it was 3d12 for me.
Yes.
And it'll be it's always plus your
15.
Oh, plus con.
I believe it's plus con. Yeah.
Well, then I'm at full health.
So then plus con would be the plus 3 then?
Plus 3 per die.
I realized that was a in some ways a staggeringly punishing fight as far as resource usage. And so I was saving this to debut here.
Yeah.
So that it does like spin the hit die, right?
Yes,
it's not
it does
like a
spin the
freebie
hit
hit.
die.
Okay. And that's usable once or as long
once
as we
per
have
long rest.
once per long rest. Okay. So I'm not going to worry about it then yet because I didn't get hit much.
Short rest.
Well, I just did that to track the dice I used.
Okay, right.
You don't have anything that resets on rest either, so you could, yeah.
Well, the only thing that resets is raging, and that's a long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
so hit take short rest.
So actually, I don't know that any of you have short rest features.
I don't think so. No.
Just my breath weapon.
Yeah. Alex is like, when did you all get tattoos?
Coming through the door. They're compliments of like other memories of this place too.
That's not worrisome.
Did you not see the tattoo artist at the door?
Hey, you missed out, man.
No.
Yeah,
Huh.
I didn't.
It just happened.
Well, that's gonna file that away as something to investigate later.
Yep.
That's the guy who just randomly, or person who randomly puts artifact type dagger in a sheath on the side. Yeah. Filing that one away for later too.
That seems all right. All right. Everybody make a perception check.
5.
19.
1.
Good lord, child.
So I think Cyrus, Auric, and Alex are having this kind of back and forth. Lexi, you're the only one who manages to hear, and perhaps because of some of the elements of your background, you pick out the distinctive sound of like muted gunshots in the distance, like way, way down the corridors ahead of you. You also hear sounds of things moving much closer.
Fantastic.
But
Is there anything else y'all want to do before you move forward?
well, if Lexi lets us know about the gunshots, then
Which I would, yes.
Yeah. I think that's our cue to move on.
Yeah.
All right. I will reveal a little more hallway, but we will come back to this next time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kill our stream.
Recording stopped.